Veteran offensive lineman Joel Bitonio asked about the team's mindset being 1-5 as they get ready to face the Dolphins.
Obviously, everybody's frustrated because no one wants to be 1-5, but I think our team actually is very close. Like the guys, get along and we push for each other, and we haven't had any of that internal, arguing and stuff like that. Like everybody's on the same page of like, what do we need to do to be better to try and find a win. So from that mindset, everybody is frustrated with the results, but there's no like infighting in that. It's just like we have that urgency and that, you get a little bit more maybe fired up throughout the week when you're trying to find a way to get a win.
So Spencer, I know you've addressed this in the Locked On Browns podcast. I play that to set up something that we kind of alluded to, keeping the locker room and the team together. And I would say there haven't been signs that they've unraveled yet, but losing creates that. Winning cures a lot of things.
Yeah, it's funny. I just before I jumped on here, I was finishing up a story over at Cleveland Browns Roundtable about that exact thing and some of the quotes that Joel Bitonio had to say today. Also, Bubba Ventrone had very similar sentiments about, he talked about how in Indy, his first year in 2018, that he saw a team turn around from a 1-5 start to make the playoffs in the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I said this in the media room earlier, but the big difference with that team was they had Andrew Luck at quarterback. I don't know if the Browns have that at quarterback in this current situation, but crazier things have happened, and teams, that's what makes sports fun. Is sometimes the crazy things happen and teams are able to turn a bad start into a playoff run or whatever. And so we'll see if they could do it. But I do think that the comments made today by both Bitonio and Bubba Ventrone and some of the comments by others just about like how they're trying to just kind of stay positive and focused on things. I do think you see a team that is trying to really rally around the negativity right now and just stay focused and play football and get back on track. And the nice thing is you have a matchup here with the Dolphins that you feel like you have a chance to win, which it's like this matchup is so interesting to me. On the field, there's some things that I find fascinating, but also off it because like we know these two coaches kind of take center stage in this one. The Dolphins are in a bigger state of turmoil than the Browns are, while the Browns are talking about how unified they are and that, they just need to go get a win and that sort of fixes some things despite the frustrations. The Dolphins, it feels like, are already sort of turning on each other with the comments from Tua that he had to apologize for and all these different things. So these two teams kind of feel like they're headed in similar directions, but one is maybe ahead of the other. And so like that game on Sunday feels like it matters in terms of proving like what the state of both of these teams. Like, where are you really at? Are the Dolphins really as bad as it seems, or can they get a win and kind of rally around each other and beat a team that they're probably on par with, or vice versa? Can the Browns rally with each other to get a win over a Dolphins team that they feel like they're or at least record wise on par with right now, and sort of steady the ship a little bit and get people feeling a little bit better about things? And so I think like as much as I think what Joel's saying is true, and as much as I think what Bubba is saying is true, and that they're trying to stay positive, and Joel's great just with being a leader in that locker room, and he's been here for 12 years, so he's seen a lot of turmoil and trying to keep people thinking in a positive direction. As much as I believe them when they say those things, and it certainly feels that way vibe-wise in the locker room, I think Sunday will be pretty revelatory in terms of how things really are inside either of these buildings when the final whistle sounds and somebody comes out with a win. So that's it's why I think it's I've kind of dubbed this game like an important, unimportant game. Nobody outside of these two fan bases probably really care, but I think with these two fan bases, they're going to care a lot because I think it will sort of spell the future for what's going to happen to the potential of these two coaches and for sure these two teams.
Yeah, and you know what? I would argue the last two games, the Vikings game and the Steelers, that game should have been much closer than it was.